43 of America's best are set to do battle.
Jeff Gordon's going to win his third Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon is good everywhere he races, but he is real good here at Martinsville. In 24 starts, 5 poles, 5 wins. He has finished every one of those 24 starts as well, and half of them he has finished in the top 5. The car he's driving today, won with it twice here at Martinsville. He starts 16th. Watch Jeff Gordon move to the front.
A rare mid-pack start here at Martinsville for Gordon. Scott Riggs, somewhat of a surprising pole sitter, beating Ryan Newman by a couple of thousandths. And Elliott.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to Nextel Vision. Here to give the command live from Iraq, Sergeant First Class Sean McGuire.
Howdy, Martinsville. I'm Sergeant First Class Sean McGuire with the 386 Combat Engineer Battalion here in Camp Caldwell, Iraq. And back home, I'm part of another great team, the Advanced Auto Parts team, where I'm a division manager in San Antonio, Texas. First Sergeant, are we ready? Destroyer Battalion, are we ready? Bring it on! Martinsville, are you ready? Gentlemen, start your engines.
43 cars, drivers, and teams at the ready to go 500 laps on this tight, tough half mile. Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR, and proud. Here we go. The Chevy safety truck is on pit road, and for the first time in his Cup career, Scott Riggs, a former truck race winner here, will bring them down to the green flag with Ryan Newman on the outside.
Well, DW, 1,000 times off into these corners, reach up there, pull those belts tight one more time. I mean it, boys. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. Scott Riggs was very gingerly getting down into turn 1, which he knew he didn't want to slide out instead of being 9th in line. Right.
Jeff Gordon has come to 11th from 16th. Dick Berggren.
Car's a little bit loose, Mike, but the thing they are concerned about in Jeff Gordon's pit is the water temperature. Water temperature began to rise even on the pace laps, and before that caution flag, it had risen to 235 degrees. That is not boiling because these radiators are pressurized, but it's getting close to the point that they wouldn't want it to get hot any more than it is right now.
And Darrell, I think the problem is these guys ran practice yesterday, and you get lured into running a lot of tape on those. You can see quite a bit of orange tape on that top opening, and out there when you're racing like this, there's no air flowing through that radiator.
I would never start a race at Martinsville. I don't care if it's 30 degrees, but any tape on my grill, on my brake ducts or on my grill, because I knew, first of all, I might get damaged, and second of all, you're going to get hot, and you can't win the race if you blow all the water out of it.
Into the top 10, Jeff Gordon came to Martinsville 12th in Nextel Cup points. Looks like he's headed in.
Yeah, right now he's been having trouble, and I think Dick Berggren's down there. Dick?
Well, the trouble right now is he feels a vibration. He remembers last week at Bristol when they had a wheel problem that also caused a vibration. He called the vibration for the first time about 5 or 8 laps ago, and just a moment ago he said it's so bad that he has to bring the car in. Water temperature also rising on the 5-time Martinsville winner, who now comes into his pit. Crew going to change all 4 tires, and hopefully that will solve it. Rusty Wallace to the lead meanwhile.
Wallace took advantage of Jeremy Mayfield as they ran up on a fast pack of traffic. Something is going to break loose in that group of cars. Matt Kenseth, the first one, just ahead of leader Rusty Wallace. Just in front of him, all good cars. Jeff Green, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Michael Waltrip, Jimmy Johnson.
But just to show you what a green flag pit stop will do for you, Jeff Gordon in the 24 lost almost 2.5 laps by virtue of that green flag pit stop.
Well, when Jeff Gordon pitted, they must have heard Darrell. They pulled this tape off the nose of the car, and it was a loose right front wheel. That is a garage mistake. That wheel apparently was not properly tightened before Gordon's car was pushed to the line.
And Dick, that's a terrible mistake, because this was not an impound race. These guys had a checklist on that car, and that car sat in the garage area and was worked on for another 7 or 8 hours after that final practice yesterday. Huge mistake.
A tough break for Gordon. Dick Berggren.
Jeff Gordon made 3 extra pit stops. That put him 3 laps down. Most of the work was on the right front hub, specifically the threads on the studs on the right front hub. They chased all of the threads on that, and they hope they've got it squared away, but Robbie Loomis has told his driver if it doesn't solve the problem, they're going to bring the car behind the wall and put a new hub on it. Importantly, front tire changer Corey Quick told me that right front wheel was torqued before the car went out on the racetrack. So a potential mechanical problem rather than human problem on the 24.
Dick, they have a lot of wheel issues going on with this 24 car because the first problem he had at Bristol last week, he broke a wheel, and it looks like the problems continue here at the next short track.
Too many spacers, too many wheel spacers.
Jeff Gordon threatening to crack the top 10. Unscheduled pit stop because of vibration problems, went a couple of laps down. Meanwhile,
So, right behind this group, where Jeff Gordon tries to continue to fight to get back from being 3 laps down. Matt Kenseth has gotten a free pass. He's back on the lead lap. Stewart to the inside. Harvick gives him enough room.
I think that what I'm seeing with the 18 and the 20, they are on it this weekend. They got their Martinsville package working pretty darn good.
And Darrell, I watched that 20 car, Tony Stewart right there on the inside of Kevin Harvick. He'll take that position away. That was a battle for 4th place. He definitely looked like he had one of the better cars on long runs yesterday in that practice.
Got a car slow here in turn 4. It's Dave Blaney.
He had trouble in turn 2, Darrell. He just, but it was past the entrance to pit road.
Right
He's
front
just trying
tire.
to limp around to get to the pit.
Yeah, his right front tire's down.
Here's Matt.
Tony Stewart just jumped into the 4th position. Kurt Busch trying to follow Smoke into the top 5 now. Tony said his car was tight to center, but he had really good forward bite up off. Meanwhile, the defending series champion and former winner here, he's complaining of a tight condition as well. 2 Roush cars, the 97 and 16, were right in the 20s mirror, but the 16 of Biffle was had a great year. He's a little tight now on stickers, but once they can get the car to turn, then Greg told his crew chief Doug Richard he will try to evaluate a forward bite then.
And that's always the challenge here. You need that car to rotate and turn in the middle of the corner and those front wheels bite. But sometimes when you fix that, then you start spinning the rear tires and get loose off the corner. It's like walking a tightrope as far as the adjustments.
Just give me the forward bite. I'll fight with it in the middle of the corner because nobody's going to pass me there anyway. Just let me gas it and go.
Tell you what, right now it appears they have the problem resolved on Jeff Gordon, the 24 car. He's keeping tempo with Tony Stewart in the 20, but right now he's 3 laps down back in 37th position. But we have a long way to go. We know on a short track, if you can get back to the front, it's a little easier to make those laps up.
Well, he's going to have to do it the hard way, though. He's going to have to race his way by the leaders because the free pass goes to the cars that are 1 lap down. So he's got his work cut out for him.
At the end of pit road, it was turned to stop, and Johnson, the point leader, is a lap down.
That's what happens when you come in from the back of the pack to make a pit stop. You just don't have much time to get the work done.
DW, you talked about it. Jeff Gordon, he having to get these laps back the hard way. He'll get one of them back right now as they go off into turn 1. I think he's got a good race car. Look how far he pulls away. In fact, now we've got a battle for the lead with Bobby Labonte and the 18 on the inside.
I tell you, 18 and 20, they are the 2 cars you got to keep an eye on today because those cars are hooked up big time. And I think
Jeff Gordon made one of those 3 laps up, so he is now 2 laps down, basically back in about 34th position.
And look where he's going to be on this restart.
Way around.
He's going to be right up there in the front.
Tony Stewart was first out of the pits, but the race leader is Robbie Gordon in the number 7. He is the 6th different leader of this race. As let's crank it up for you on this restart. Jeff Gordon up to 1 lap down now.
I know we got this battle up there for 1st and 2nd, but I've been watching this battle back there about the 5th and 6th car in line. Jeff Gordon, Jeff Burton in the 31, Casey Mears in the 41. These guys are fighting to become the first car a lap down, where if we get the caution, they can get back on the lead lap.
You know, I don't like giving laps back, but it does create a race within a race. If you got good cars a lap down, they are racing like crazy to try to be the first one to be a lap down.
It's a race for the lead on the left-hand side of your screen. This is a race to try to get back on the lead lap on the right-hand side between Jeff Gordon and the 24, Jeff Burton and the 31.
You can see Gordo in there. He's working that wheel. He's trying as hard as he can.
Darrell, and I think one big benefit of the free pass rule is on restarts, it prevents the driver a lap down from being compelled to rough up the leader because he's got another chance and another way to get that lap back.
I somewhat agree with you if he's a smart driver.
Kevin Harvick is the third.
Talking about back in the field, Jeff Gordon at one point 3 laps down, now currently running 26th and only a lap down.
Only a lap down right now. He's got a really strong race car, and he's really hoping to catch a caution right now, which will put him back on the lead lap. And he has really, you know, been very strong all day, very patient. Great job by Robbie Loomis and his entire DuPont team to keep him up there in contention.
That caution came about 2 laps too late for Jeff Gordon in the 24 because Tony Stewart in the 20 had just put Kyle Petty a lap down, so Kyle will actually get the free pass. Those positions back, but there right behind this group you see that 24 car. Jeff Gordon, remember, had the problem earlier with the loose wheel. He's now 1 lap down. Should we get a caution, he would be the free pass car. Almost got it a while ago.
And doesn't it seem like every driver who wins a race on the circuit this year, trouble follows him from victory lane on to the next week or two? Happened to Carl Edwards, happened to Jeff Gordon. Turn 1.
Using way too much brakes.
Marlin spins off the bumper of Elliott Sadler, but that happened because Rusty Wallace got in the back of Ryan Newman going into turn 1, 4 or 5 cars in front of them.
And guess who really benefits from that caution? Jeff Gordon, the 24 car. He will be back on the lead lap now, and we have over 200 laps to go.
That's what you call chain. And I won't say the rest of it.
You know that 6 or 7 cars at the back of the lead lap cars make pit stops, 4 tires, including Jeff Gordon in the 24 that's now back on the lead lap.
Another driver who is sneaking back into contention as Bobby Labonte looks to make the move on Jeff Burton, the lap car, is Jeff Gordon. Gordon lost a lap on lap 47. Took him 230 laps to get that lap back. He's on the lead lap 16th, battling Sterling Marlin, trying to move. And again, sneaking back up on him.
Oh, yeah, he's got a good car, and just based on what he's done, you know, these first 250, 300 laps, he'll be up there before it's over with. What I like about Gordon's car is you know, the drivers talk about it turning. His car rotates. It almost looks like it rolls over and then takes off. Then he can gas it and go.
He's been trying for a couple of laps to get Sterling Marlin without much success as they work underneath Casey Mears.
Well, now's when he knows, Mike, he's got to be kind of careful. He's back on the lead lap. He's got his shot. He knows he does. Don't tear it up, because look at that car. She's clean as she can be.
You see our pole sitter right there, Scott Riggs, in the 10 car right now. He's in 24th, 1 lap down. We were getting a report.
Racetrack, because you've got brake blowers that you don't run in most any place else. Big, huge brake blowers. They're bilge motors that come out of a boat. And you got that on the both front tires. You got a blower for the driver. You got a blower for the rear end. There's a lot going on inside that race car.
More demand here on the electrical system than any other racetrack we go to.
Jeff Gordon moves up another notch. He has 5 victories here at Martinsville, and even from.
But I just believe when Rusty Wallace in that 2, Mr. Jeff Gordon in that 24 get up there, business gonna pick up.
Just believe one thing, that 24 is on the prowl. I saw the flames heat up on that baby.
Just ahead of him, the 2 Yates cars, Dale Jarrett and Elliott Sadler, running 13th and 14th. Jarrett coming off a top 5 at Bristol. Sadler started 25th today. He's improved 9, or make that 11 positions. Tony Stewart leads the Advanced Auto Parts 500.
Pretty hotly by the 12 car Ryan Newman as well as Rusty Wallace. So if things are getting ready to say, business is getting ready to pick up because Jeff Gordon's going to go inside Rusty Wallace right now and pick up another position, move up to 11.
Jeff Gordon, who was down 3 laps, 48 laps in, has worked his way back up.
Bristol had to qualify for that race, so this run here could get him back in the top 35 as we head to Texas next week.
Oh, there's a car right there just behind that 9 car that just keeps creeping closer to the front.
Jeff Gordon has run 24 previous races here at Martinsville. He has never come to the end of a 500 lapper here in the garage. He's finished every one, and he's won 5 of them.
We talked about that at the beginning of the show, is you have to be there at the end. You have to take care of things and have no mistakes. Remember, this team had a mistake early in the race. They had a wheel that was either left loose or came loose, and now he's fought his way back into the top 10.
Or low. He can run the bottom if he needs to, and he can also move it up to the top. And you just saw the 9 get a little sideways there, and that opened the door for Jeff Gordon to come through.
He went to the top, but I think he got a little help with that. It was moved up to the top. Now, again, that's a battle for 7th position.
And Larry, it was verified earlier that those wheels on Jeff Gordon's car were torqued in pre-race this morning. So the problem was otherwise was not loose lug nuts.
Well, and I tend to agree with what Jeff and Darrell were talking about. We run spacers between the rotor hat and the wheel to widen the tread width out. And I think sometimes you can get too many wheel spacers on there, and they give a little bit or yield just a little bit, and the wheel will loosen up. Robbie Gordon
off of turn 4, but I think he's okay. I think he just got out of the groove and got in the loose stuff. Well, now is when Gordon's got to be really careful. These are all good cars. They're not going to give up easily.
But most of these are for position. Jason Leffler in the 11 car right now, he's in the 6th position. Jeff Gordon in the 7th position. And then you still see Casey Kane in the 9 car still on the lead lap just in front of there, just behind Jeff Gordon.
When you have a little problem here, it takes a long time to recover. It took Jeff Gordon 150 laps to get back on the lead lap as he battles Leffler for 6th. After Wallace had that penalty, took him 150 laps to get back into the top 10.
The question is, will Jeremy Mayfield have enough time, one of the better cars here today in the 19, will he have enough time to overcome that speeding penalty?
How many laps are left? 150.
Time will tell.
Plenty.
Leads Kurt Busch by 1 second in the Advance Auto Parts 500.
To Dick.
Well, Jeff Gordon just told his crew that the car is handling well, but he has burned up the brakes trying to make up those 3 laps. To Genie.
Well, Bobby Labonte.
On top earlier, Jeff Gordon, a 5-time winner here at Martinsville. Vibration problems. He went 3 laps down way back on lap 48. He's worked his way back up. Traded by it. Sterling Marlin had problems on lap 275 as he spun out and brought out the caution. That was good news for Jeff Gordon, who climbed all the way back and got on the lead lap. Now he's inside the top 10.
Even though he's our current champion, he has not won a race since it's Loudon, New Hampshire, the first race of the Final 10 last year.
Jeff Gordon underneath Ricky Rudd's number 21. That's for 6th place.
You reckon those 97 boys, Jimmy Finning and Kurt Busch, you think they got a concrete car that's something different than everybody else? Because, man, the way he runs at Bristol, now he comes here, runs good at Dover. They've got a package for the concrete.
They have something figured out.
Gordon around Bobby Labonte, whose engine is ailing.
Yeah, the worst thing that can happen, if it stays green, Bobby Labonte wouldn't be that bad off. But on fresh tires, he's going to get outrun pretty badly.
We talk about engine problems. What a shame. Mike Bliss in the 0 car.
And it would not set Busch back to let Martin lead a lap, and that's just what they did.
Good battle right here between these 2 guys that have been struggling. Rusty from a penalty and Jeff from a loose wheel. Jeff goes by on the inside, and he's not that far behind those leaders.
His car, Jeff Gordon of 24, so good through the middle of the corner. That pass started back in the middle of 3 and 4. He turned that car to the bottom. He was able to carry that speed down the front stretch and beat Rusty into turn 1. Now he moves into the top 5. I tell you who really shined as well, though, that 24 team, Jeff Gordon. It looks like he's going to come out in 3rd on this caution right here, so that's a good stop for that group.
Weakest part of the wheel is that bolt circle, and if one of those nuts is loose or if one of the stud breaks, that wheel just sits there and vibrates.
2 laps down, trying to get 1 back as well, and our leader Ryan Newman in the 12.
Elliott Sadler, pretty much the only one of our top 5 in points coming in here who has had a relatively trouble-free day, fighting for 5th place, surrendering it to Jeff Gordon.
I think he's paying the price for those 45-lap tires right now versus these fresh tires on Kurt Busch, Mark Martin.
That's what I was talking about. It's the only problem when you get up on that outside, somebody shoves you up in the loose stuff.
And I think he saw an opportunity to try to go by Sterling Marlin in the 40. Really drove it into turns 3 and 4 last time. As him and his teammate Mark Martin are side by side with Jeff Gordon in 24. This is a battle for the 3rd position.
Yeah, opportunity knocks. It's Mark Martin.
And Jeff Gordon's going to follow him through that door. But he just drove it in so deep the car just wouldn't stick.
And you just slide up that little bit right in the middle of the corner, and the guy on the bottom gasses it, and he just gets an advantage on you that you can't give up. And look out!
No. Inside.
Not enough room. Gordon's left side tires looked like they were right against the curbing. There was not enough room for 2 cars there.
Kurt was frustrated because he was caught on the outside. He tried to get down behind Mark and couldn't quite make it. I think that the 24 car definitely saw a chance, an opportunity, and he kind of left himself vulnerable. The 97 did.
It was a late move by Gordon as Busch was trying to come down into the corner. Let's see who went where.
Jeff made an abrasive move here, right there. He stayed in the throttle. He went underneath.
Yeah, actually, you know, Jeff needed to back off and let Kurt in because Kurt had the position. So I would, if you want to, I don't like to blame because, you know, you can always 2 sides to every story. But that would have been a good time for Jeff to back off and let Kurt in.
But I definitely do not think Jeff Gordon drove up the racetrack into him. Like you say, he could have rolled out of the throttle and gave Kurt the position. It's about the only thing he could have done, Darrell.
One's going down into the corner and the other one's going straight. That's the difference.
Used to be, Darrell, you'd want to be up to the numbers of the car on the outside to own the corner.
Yeah, right there. I mean, you know, Kurt's got plenty of room and Jeff's not there yet. There's no way that the spotter would tell you that you wasn't clear low right there. Yeah.
Jeff Gordon in the 24, it looks like he might be a little bit faster than Mark Martin in the 6 car, but Mark's running the preferred line.
Yeah, but I think that damage to the right front fender where he got into Kurt Busch could be hurting him a little bit.
He tried the crossover move. They almost got together, but meanwhile, that's pulled Mark Martin in that 6 and Jeff Gordon in the 24. Right in the equation, Mark Martin side by side for second space.
40 laps to go.
Mark's old car looks pretty smooth right now.
And back to Dick Berggren.
And so my second question for Steve Boyer, Sterling Marlin's crew chief, was what about Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin? And he just sort of looked me straight in the eye, shrugged his shoulders and said, I don't know. I guess we're all going to have to stick around and see the answer to that question unfold.
But give Marlin a big attaboy. The news got out today that he is 99% sure that his contract with Chip Ganassi won't be renewed, and here he is leading this race just 40 laps from the finish.
And Mark Martin, I'm not sure if he didn't hit the wall coming off turn 2, he got mighty dadgum close.
Right now, just watching our monitor right here, Sterling Marlin is running laps a little bit quicker than Mark Martin in the 6, Jeff Gordon in the 24.
Dodge, Ford, and Chevrolet at the front. Sterling Marlin, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon.
I think what's happening to Mark is he's being hounded by Jeff Gordon, and there goes Jeff by him, and I think that was distracting Mark.
Yeah, Jeff got a really good run off turn 4 the last time and beat Mark down through the middle of turn 1 and 2. Now he sets his sights on Sterling Marlin in the 40 car. 36 laps to go.
It's all over now, boys.
And how much fresher are Jeff Gordon's tires than Sterling Marlin?
About 45 laps, which is a lot.
Yikes.
You can just see it in Jeff. I mean, he cuts through the middle. He's back in the gas. And Sterling, I hope you didn't see those replays earlier.
Right there, that's where Jeff Gordon's car has been so strong. They're side by side right there. 35 to go.
Marlin, a good run off the corner and a lot of motor, but he will follow Jeff Gordon off turn 2. Jeff Gordon, new leader in the Advanced Auto Parts 500. Away and hides, and the 24 has caught Kurt Busch.
That might be interesting.
Yeah, Casey Kane in the 9 right now with 22 laps to go. He could definitely use a caution flag to get caught back up.
I think Jeff Gordon will be very, very gentle about how he gets around this 97 car.
He made an ill-timed move to the inside of Busch, which sent Kurt spinning and got him a lap down. Here's Gordon to the outside.
He's not making it easy.
No, he is not.
He's not going to make it easy for him.
Nope.
And that's good news for Casey Kane.
I think Kurt drove it too deep down into turn 1 and 2. Jeff Gordon in the 24 will clear him now.
Well, if he drove it deep in there, watch him drive it in here.
I think he made his point.
He's after him, buddy. Come on, get him. No, I don't mean that. Come on, get him. I mean, you know, you know what I mean.
What was that other Aretha song?
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Right.
But DW right there, that pulled Kasey Kahne in the 9 within about 2.5 seconds. And right now, his lap times are about a tenth of a second quicker per lap than Jeff Gordon in the 24. Just don't know if there'll be enough time. This is a battle right here. Rusty Wallace in the 2, Ricky Rudd in the 21 car on the right-hand side of the screen. This is a battle for the 6th position. As they look in on Sterling Marlin in the 40 on the older tires up in the 5th position.
You saw the lap pass Kevin LePage. And who would have guessed at 70 laps in this race when Jeff Gordon went 3 laps down that with 20 to go he'd be leading.
Never count those guys out.
Overcome bad luck.
A great comeback today for Jeff Gordon and for his teammate, point leader Jimmie Johnson.
Right now, our race leader, Jeff Gordon, in the 24 car, he's in some pretty heavy traffic up there. Greg Biffle in the 16, Dave Blaney in the 07. Kasey Kahne continued to shave some time. In fact, Kasey beat our leader that time by a full half a second, 13 to go.
Jeff Gordon has come from 3 laps down to lead this race going into its final laps. Tony Stewart led the most laps today, lost a wheel, and has fallen back out of the race.
Oh, the 77 car just gave up the ghost here. He just now went into kind of a big ball of smoke going down into turn 1.
And he's still on the lead lap. He was running in the top 15, but it looks like he going to have trouble getting to the end of this thing unless he comes to pit road.
Bobby Labonte out of the race along with Mike Bliss, Hermie Sadler, Kyle Busch, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Johnny Sauter, Randy LaJoie, and Mike Garvey as we come down to 10 laps to go. Hendrick Motorsports' first ever win came here at Martinsville in 1984. Jeff Bodine was the driver. Hendrick was a single car team called All-Star Racing, ran without a sponsor that first season. Bodine got them their first win right here.
And Harry Hyde was the crew chief. Good old Harry.
A long and storied 20 years for Hendrick Motorsports as Travis Quaffle blows up down in turn 1.
Caution is out, boys. This is 15 cars on the lead lap. So this is going to be quite the decision, especially on the shoulders of Robbie Loomis in the 24 car, his Jeff Gordon's crew chief. See that crew right there? Tommy Baldwin, crew chief for Kasey Kahne.
Kind of always think back to what they told Dale at Bristol there when he was leading the race late and he wanted to come for tires. They said, Dale, you're the 7-time champion. You can win this race. I'm sure they're probably telling Jeff Gordon, you're the 4-time champion. You can win this race.
Kasey Kahne's owner, Ray Evernham, is Jeff Gordon's former crew chief and probably knows the Hendrick playbook as well as anyone. What will he tell his young driver? After Ray Evernham left that team, winning championships and victories, Jeff Gordon's first win after Evernham's departure came right here at Martinsville.
Yeah, and Jeff Gordon's got to be careful, and I know he's a smart driver. He doesn't want to go down into turn 1 on this restart and shove up the hill and open the door for Kasey Kahne around the bottom, because Kahne is good, I'm telling you. He was real good there.
Last October, Jimmie Johnson won this race not knowing of the tragedy that occurred early in the day on nearby Bull Mountain, where 10 members of the NASCAR family, the Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports family, were lost in a plane crash en route to the race. Johnson won this race. Victory Lane was canceled out of respect. It must be difficult for all of the Hendrick teams, especially Rick Hendrick, to return here. But Jeff Gordon is trying to put the best possible face on this day for his boss and his friend Rick Hendrick, and for that entire extended family, by trying to put this car in victory lane.
I think it was special that Jimmy won this race. We're looking at Rick. I'm sure Rick is holding back a lot of emotion right now, and I think it'd be really special if Jeff Gordon came back to win this race. I can't imagine what's going through Rick's mind right now. He looked like he was standing there trying to hold back tears.
Five to go.
Ricky's birthday, his son's birthday, was last week, last Saturday, and I talked to Rick this past week. We're going to do an interview together tomorrow over at Hendrick Motorsports, and he's hanging in there. He's a tough guy.
Rick's brother John was lost in the plane crash along with John's 2 daughters. Rick's only son, Ricky. Randy Dorton, the head of the engine department. Jeff Turner, the general manager. and other members of the Hendrick Motorsports family and Tony Stewart's helicopter pilot were lost in that air crash. Turn our attention back to the track where the starter signals down finger restart, single file, 1 to go. Matt?
Mike, 5 times. Casey Kane has finished second, almost winning his first ever Nextel Cup race last year. Maybe today is the day, but his crew chief, Tommy Baldwin Jr., told him on the radio 2 laps ago, keep an eye on the 24. That left rear tire looks awfully soft, maybe going down. Casey said it looks like it's sort of up, but they are keeping an eye on it.
The air pressures are so low in the left side tires. Like I said, they start them at single digits. That thing probably doesn't have 15, 18 pound of air in it right now. So I don't think there's an issue with that tire.
3 to go when
now,
they come back.
If Casey rubbed on it, there might be an issue with it.
Well, here we go. Probably the most important restart of these guys all day long. 3 to go when they get the green flag. Jeff Gordon in the 24 gets a good restart. Sterling Marlin in the 40 does not get a good restart.
Rusty Wallace jumps into Sterling, moves up to 5th.
That little bit of edge that Jeff got on that restart is going to make all the difference in the world here as far as a cushion between he and Casey Kane.
Right now, it looks like Casey Kane's beating him getting in the corner. Jeff Gordon really pulls him off the corner. 2 to go.
That's the way you run this joint. You ease her down in there, but you try to get it turned and then gas her hard coming off.
And right now, Casey Kane in the 9, he's doing everything he should do. He needs to drive that thing deep in the corner. If he thinks he have a chance, he really pulls close here. We're coming to the white flag.
Just that little bit of a lag in the restart on the 9 car where Jeff got that jump, that 3 or 4 car length jump, that's just made all the difference in the world.
Chevy, Dodge, Ford, and 2 Dodges, with both Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace in the top 5 in their final Martinsville spring appearance. Jeff Gordon scores his 71st career win and his 6th at Martinsville.
There was some moving and shaking back in there. There's Rick and Robbie Loomis. Good job, man.
For anyone that does not think this is a team sport, they should have seen what this team here overcame today.
From 3 laps down to victory lane.
Mark Martin ended up 3rd. Ryan Newman on those 100-something lap tires ends up 4th. His teammate Rusty Wallace ends up 5th.
12 Martinsville wins for Rick Hendrick, Jeffrey Bodine, Jimmy Johnson, 5 for Jeff Gordon, and Darrell Waltrip, and 1 here for Hendrick Motorsports. And look who's learned to do burnouts.
Yeah, a year or so ago he said he wasn't very good at this.
Doing a pretty good job right now. These fans love it.
In a band, Big Jeff.
This team won the Daytona 500. They've been on a rock slide ever since. Fell out of the top 10 in points back to 12th, so a great recovery. Mike, you talk about it a lot. I love where they have victory lane here. At the start-finish line on the front stretch where the fans can enjoy it.
Now, instead of the driver driving off track to victory lane, they bring it out here to him.
Yeah, it's a cool deal, and, you know, great therapy right here for that whole crowd.
Damn driving machine.
Matt Yocums with the runner-up.
Well, a high five from his brother Cale. Now, this was a
victory lane to the winning car. And that's pretty cool. Darrell says right out in front of the whole front stretch grandstand as Jeff Gordon collects his thoughts and gets ready to climb out. Casey Kane 2nd, Mark Martin 3rd, Ryan Newman 4th, Rusty Wallace 5th, Sterling Marlin a hard-fought 6th, Ricky Rudd, Jimmy Johnson, Elliott Sadler, and Joe Nemechek, the top 10.
You know, you lead all the laps, you win the race, you have great feeling. But when you come from 3 down, It doesn't get any better than that.
Jeff Gordon will jump to 6th in the point standings with this win. Dick Berggren.
Wow, that was some performance. I mean, 3 laps down, overheating, and the guy behind you said you had a flat left rear tire in those last few laps. Why did you just not give up early on?
I knew we just had way too good of a race car and a race team. Just so proud of the guys in this DuPont Chevrolet. They never give up, and, you know, I can't give up either. And, you know, there are a lot of special people to Hendrick Motorsports and to the racing community that were lost here in Martinsville, and it's only fitting that we win this one. Jimmy won it. We won it. Something obviously special about this place, and what just an awesome performance. Guys just never gave up. I'm so proud. I want to thank DuPont, Pepsi, and Lay's, GMAC, Haas, EDS, Chevrolet. It's an amazing day for us.
How emotional is this win for you?
Well, you know, Martinsville's been so good for us, and we felt like we lost something here the last time we were here with the new concrete, and I'm just so glad we worked hard in getting it back. And I want to apologize to Kurt Busch. I certainly didn't mean to get into him there. We were both racing, hard for that position, and there was not a lot of give right there on either one of our parts. So hate that for him, but I'm just so proud of Robbie Loomis. What a phenomenal race car he gave me today. I mean, you can't come 3 laps down. Of course, one of them was with the Lucky Dog, but 2 of them were not. So I'll take credit. This team will take credit for those 2, but just an incredible performance. I'm so proud. Man, I don't know what to say. I'm just happy.
Congratulations, a total team performance. Let's go to Steve.
With Mark Martin, his 11th top 5 finish at this racetrack. Mark 3rd today. Looked like a physical day out there.
Well, with 50 to go, I thought.
With Rick Hendrick, your team really did an incredible job today, but we also remember last October. Your feelings at the moment?
I'm really proud of the guys. It was a hard day for all of them, everybody in our organization to come up here, but all the families at home that had loved ones on that plane. This has been what a nice tribute to them, and we're just proud of everything the group done today.
They try so hard for you. Congratulations.
That man is a rock. The strength of his faith. I'm just in awe of it.
Yeah, he told me it was prayers, faith, and friends that got him through all this.
Nextel Post-Race Show, brought to you by Nextel, helping NASCAR groups get things done. NASCAR and Nextel, partners in speed. In Martinsville, Dodge finishing in 4 of the top 6 spots, but Jeff Gordon, your winner, the comeback kid at age 33. Chevy congratulates Jeff Gordon with his DuPont Chevrolet and the 24 car, the Pepsi Frito-Lay car. On today's win, the defending manufacturer's champion records their 559th win overall. Chevy, the revolution races on. And for Jeff Gordon, when I say kid, he's only 33. He was voted the prom king back at Liston High School in Indiana when he graduated in '89. The day of his graduation, got his diploma, quickly changed into his racing gear for a dirt track race in Bloomington that night, and continues to add on to a terrific career and an emotional moment in victory lane. Ryan Newman started on the front row, wound up 4th, chasing Jeff Gordon. Casey Kane and Mark Martin at the finish. He's standing by with Steve Burns. Steve?
Chris, make that work.
Rick Hendrick returns to the scene of his family and his race team's greatest tragedy, and his presence is the motivating force that reinforces that team's refuse to lose ethic. They come from 3 laps down to win.
Yeah, and I said faith, friends, and prayer has gotten him through this. He's not through it yet. He's still dealing with it, and it's just great for his team to be able to do what they did today.
Yeah, I mean, just look at both of his race teams. 2 of the 4, Jimmy Johnson, the comeback those guys made, Jeff Gordon.
We talk about Jeff Gordon being the comeback kid. When you look at that number 24 team, they had a slogan a few years ago, refuse to lose. Well, that's what they did today. They didn't want to quit. They kept fighting, and in the end, they were able to overcome. Pretty impressive.
Jeff Gordon was 3 laps down, about 50 laps into the race. In fact, didn't lead the race until 35 laps to go and held on to pull into victory lane. But in the end, it was Jeff Gordon cashing in for Hendrick Motorsports in Victory Lane here in Martinsville, where for the most part the hot tempers were cooled down.